Welcome to Apiary Chronicles, where we dive deep into the world of beekeeping and the people who make it all happen. I'm Cal Hardage, your host and fellow bee enthusiast. In this podcast, we're exploring the vibrant, sometimes challenging, and always fascinating world of beekeeping through the unique stories of beekeepers themselves. In each episode, we'll meet different beekeepers from various backgrounds, regions, and approaches to raising bees. We'll uncover their personal journeys, what inspired them to get started, the challenges they faced along the way, and the memorable moments that have shaped their experiences in the apiary. Now, if you're new to the world of beekeeping, let's start with a quick introduction. The idea for the Apiary Chronicles was born out of a desire to connect with these stories and share them with a broader audience. Whether you're a longtime beekeeper, a hobbyist, or just someone curious about the world of bees, you're going to find a lot to learn and love here. Every episode will offer something new. We'll talk to people who run commercial operations, backyard beekeepers, hobbyists, conservationists, working to protect wild bee populations, and researchers diving into the science of hive health. And we'll explore some common issues that beekeepers face, like dealing with mites, preparing hives for winter, and of course, the unforgettable first taste of homegrown honey. But this podcast is more than a resource. It's a journey. My goal for Apiary Chronicles is to feel like a conversation with friends, a gathering around the hive where we can share knowledge, experiences, and maybe a few laughs. So whether you're driving, tending your own hives, or just relaxing, I invite you to join me each week as we step into the apiary together. As we get started, I'd love to hear from you. Is there a particular topic you're curious about? Or if you'd like to share your own beekeeping story, you can reach us through our website at apiarychronicles.com and click on Be Our Guest. Also, you can reach us through our social media, because this is as much about building a community as it is exploring beekeeping. So don't hesitate to join the conversation. And when you're ready to dive in, our first episode will be released the first week in 2025. So not too long, and we've already recorded some great episodes, and they will be even better ones coming more. But first, before we leave, let's talk about my bee journey just a little. And then we'll just give you a brief overview of my bee journey. It started with me standing in the seat of my dad's pickup, looking out the back window as he tended his own beehives. Early in the journey, I can remember the honey supers being in our kitchen and our house smelling of it. And Dad and Mom uncapping the frames. And we got to hand crank the extractor. And without fail, Mom always got stung, which she did not enjoy. However, that set me on a lifetime love of bees. In fact, when I got to high school, joined FFA, I needed a project. And while I had other ideas for a project, and I did do other things on my project, one aspect of my project was beekeeping. So I got 4 hives, and I tended them and tried to be more than a bee haver and make progress. It was the late 80s, so varroa mites was not a problem, but wax moths were a problem for me. And quickly after I left for college, the wax moths won. Then I took a hiatus from beekeeping that lasted a couple decades. I guess not quite a couple decades, a decade and a half. So about 15 years, I did not have bees. And then, it's kind of interesting. One day I woke up thinking, why don't I have bees? I remember loving having bees. Why have I not got some hives? Life gets busy and those hobbies fall by the wayside. But I picked back up, started with some top bar hives and some Russian bees to give them a try, because those were new things to me. I've always used a Lengthroth hive. And so I did that for a little bit, and And over the years since, I've continued my beekeeping habit up. To be honest, I'm more of a beehaver than a beekeeper, but I'm working to become a better beekeeper. And I hope in these conversations, they'll help all of us to be better. Currently, I've just got a couple hives in the backyard. So throughout the years, usually I have a few hives in the backyard. I've had as many as a dozen. I'm just a backyard beekeeper. I do think I need to expand my apiary. So that's one of my first goals. And in fact, our very first episode that'll be released in the first week of January will cover the topic of splitting hives. And I'll leave you wondering about the guests because I think you'll really enjoy the conversation. Until then, be sure to subscribe on social media. And like I said earlier, if you want to share your journey, reach out to me. We need to get the word out about this, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Until next time, keep on beekeeping.